Do you know how to say to try in Spanish? Is it probar, tratar, or intentar? In fact, all three of these Spanish verbs translate as to try in English, but each one has its own meanings and uses. Hi, I'm Mafalda from BaseLang, and in today's video, I'm going to help you understand the key differences between probar, tratar, and intentar. So you always use the right word for to try in Spanish. Speaking of trying things, did you know your first week of unlimited Spanish classes on BaseLang is just $1? I'll leave a link in the description below so you can try it out. Okay, now let's get into our lesson on to try in Spanish. We'll begin with probar, since this is the one you'll probably want to use the most. We use probar when we try things out, like trying a new flavor of ice cream, trying on a new hat, or trying a new method for doing something. If you're tasting something new, for example, you'll always use probar when you give it a first taste. Me gustaría probar el sabor a mango, por favor. I would like to try the mango flavor, please. Debes probar una contraseña diferente. You need to try a different password. Probar conjugation has an O to UE stem change, just like mostrar, soñar, or encontrar. So in the present tense, we say yo pruebo and tú pruebas. El científico prueba un nuevo método en el laboratorio. The scientist tries a new method in the lab. Los niños prueban todos los dulces de la tienda. The kids try every candy in the shop. When we use probar to try something on, we use the reflexive form probarse since we're putting clothes on ourselves. Alice debería probarse este vestido. Le quedaría genial. Alice should try on this dress. It would look great on her. En promedio, la gente se prueba 10 gafas diferentes antes de elegir una. On average, people try 10 different pairs of glasses before choosing one. So to sum up, we use probar when we're trying something out, tasting something, testing something, or trying something on. Now let's move on to tratar. We use tratar when we're attempting an activity or making an effort to do something. It's the verb we use with other verbs when we try to do that action. So our tratar translation could be to try to or to attempt to. So how do we use tratar in a sentence? Well, tratar is a regular AR verb, so we just conjugate it and then follow it with the preposition de of the other verb that the person is attempting. Let's see some examples. Tratas de cocinar tortillas, pero siempre se rompen. You try to cook tortillas, but they always break. Por favor, trata de escuchar cuando te hablo. Please, try to listen when I speak to you. Keep in mind that in addition to this meaning as to try to in Spanish, tratar has other meanings that you shouldn't get mixed up with probar and intentar. Its main meanings are close to the English word to treat, as in treating someone well or treating a disease. And now onto our last verb, intentar. Well, this one is pretty similar to what we just saw with tratar de, but the key is that it's more about the intent. With tratar, it's assumed that you actually follow through. While with intentar, you say you're trying to do something, but you probably don't succeed. And how do we use intentar? It's another regular AR verb, so we just conjugate it and follow it directly with the infinitive of the verb for whatever action we're attempting. However, we don't need to include the preposition de like we did with tratar. Mi novio va a intentar dejar de fumar. My boyfriend is going to try to quit smoking. Ella intentó llegar a tiempo a la reunión, pero no pudo. She intended to arrive on time for the meeting, but she couldn't do it. To sum up intentar, it's all about good intentions, even if you never actually follow through. So now, do you think you know the difference between our three verbs for to try in Spanish? ¿Intentamos practicar un poco? Shall we try to practice a little? Which verb would you use for each of the following phrases? Probar, tratar, or intentar? I try to teach Spanish content that you'd find useful. Yep, this is tratar de. Trato de enseñar contenido en español que encuentres útil. Okay, how about You try to memorize tons of new vocab every week, but you forget it because you don't use it. Nice work. I see that the intention is there. We use intentar here. Intentas memorizar mucho vocabulario nuevo cada semana, pero lo olvidas porque no lo usas. One last sentence. For regular Spanish practice, have you thought about trying BaseLang? Yep, probar is the verb for trying something new out. Para practicar español regularmente, ¿has pensado en probar BaseLang? Nice job! It looks like you've mastered the key differences between probar, tratar, and intentar. So you'll always use the right one when you want to say to try in Spanish. For even more details, including all the conjugations, check out our blog post in the link below. If your goal is to speak Spanish fast, why not try out BaseLang, where you have unlimited access to one-on-one teachers for a flat rate. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe to our channel to see our upcoming lessons. Nos vemos en la próxima.